one of the other aspects of the goo too is that as knowledge has increased, wisdom has decreased. And you speak a little bit about that, but that's a contemporaneous lift that you've used where, and in your view, I think you mentioned to me and to others that you think that since the days of the radio, people have been decreasing in their efficiency of how they process information.
Well, the more information that's available, the less you have to do with it. I mean, as you become a specialist, and this goes back to agriculture and the founding of agriculture. And I was just doing an interview earlier today with a guy about Jared Diamond, and Diamond is someone who at various times has said agriculture was a bad thing for humanity, and then said it was a good thing. But since we stopped becoming, I mean, if you want to survive, you better find someone who's a hunter-gatherer, because they know how to survive and do everything needed to live. If you get some fat ass sitting behind a computer most of the day and take him out of the computer world, he may know 10 times as much information about history and pop culture and science and whatnot and art, but he's not going to know how to survive. So as we have become specialists, our general knowledge has decreased, and our ability to sustain ourselves individually, we become much more dependent upon other people. And we see this process seemingly playing out into the future. One of the reasons I think that's implied in why the Andes, the androids, are granted humanity, are called humans, just artificial humans, is because they outnumber the naturals, and they could easily enslave the natural human beings, and we get the sense that the natural human beings are a minority, but in a sense, and this goes back to the dystopia thing, we find out that they are like 90% of the people that control business and industry and control the goo political machine. So even though they are in effect, it's almost like an apartheid society, except there isn't the outward hostility. But you get the sense underneath that there are things wrong with this goo. Yes, there have been some androids that have been elected into positions of power and whatnot. And so here comes along the Mulists, and we know that the Mulists are following an insane creed, not only internally within this book, but we know if we go throughout the whole Schneider universe that the Mule was a moron. He was an insane, cultic, pseudo-religious, political, fanatic, anarchist kind of guy. And so apparently there are lots of people, 10 million out of 80 trillion isn't a lot statistically, but there are a good number of adherents that seem to follow this Mulist mantra, and that leads into the character of Apache Steve. So